Christian heavyweights launch attack on Tinubu and Shettima. On Friday, popular Christian members of the APC pledged to mobilize voters against the party's Muslim presidential ticket in 2023. The disgruntled Christian members said the party's presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, chose a fellow Muslim for the country's north as his running mate was a mistake that they would fight with their voter cards in February next year. On Friday, some northern Christian leaders in the APC urged Nigerians to reject any ticket that was not mixed with Christians. They argued that because the Muslim presidential ticket is divisive, it must be rejected by all patriotic Nigerians. They closed their minds during the APC Northern Leaders Summit, claiming that the implication that Northern Muslims would not support Tinubu's Christian running mate was false and divisive. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, former Speaker of House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, former Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Solomon Dalong, and Senator Ishako Abo were among those who spoke at the event at Adamawa North. Lawal, who presided over the event, said many within and outside the APC have expressed shock and disbelief over the party's Muslim ticket, calling it a grand conspiracy against northern Christians. Our opposition has some historical basis, said the former SGF. In the past, Christians produced deputy governors in Kebbi, Niger, and Kaduna states. Now it is solely a Muslim ticket. It is worth noting that all of this is taking place in APC-controlled states. They have threatened to do the same in the states of Gombe, Kogi, and Adamawa. It is also now common practice in the north to replace any Christian traditional ruler who dies with a Muslim prince, albeit from the ruling family. Even if the most qualified and preferred prince is a Christian, we are still thinking about the recent Biliri chiefdom case in Gombe State. As evidence of its anti-Christian agenda, our party has now completely removed Northern Christians from its NWC, National Working Committee, and NEC, National Executive Committee. The party leadership has completely ignored all of our protests as party members. Wow. However, as APC members, we have the right to continue to express our outrage at these events and will not give up until justice is served. The main purpose of this historical narrative is to show you that a Muslim ticket has been a long-term political strategy for the APC, not a one-time decision. Thus, all of this talk of competence as the reason for the Muslim VP candidate selection is nonsense and diversionary. This is a calculated anti-Christian exclusion agenda being carried out. One might wonder why the APC is deafeningly silent on our rejection of this Muslim ticket, and why have none of the other perpetrators of this crisis sought dialogue with Christians? Why, instead, do they hire phony bishops and take church groups to further embarrass the church? Why are they waging a vicious media campaign against CAN and the church instead of seeking reconciliation? Truly, things are not adding up. It is implied that in this ticket that northern Muslims will not vote for a ticket with a Christian on it and on which they are not represented. Northern Muslims, we believe, would have seen the justice in a Muslim-Christian ticket and they would have overwhelmingly supported it had the party been inclined to do so. As a corollary to this mindset, Christians should not vote for a ticket that does not accommodate them. Unfortunately, this is the message that we get from this ticket. This should serve as a wake-up call to all Nigerian Christians. We didn't start this religious politics, the APC and its candidates did. So we should all take note and act as appropriate. It is implied in this ticket that northern Muslims will not vote for a ticket with a Christian on it and which they will not be represented. We, for one, do not seek to oppress or dominate anyone, any person, or religion. We will, however, oppose anyone who attempts to discriminate against us and our religion. We did not initiate this conflict. The APC started it, and it must be ready to and be prepared to bear the cross it has erected. They will get nowhere by blaming Christians and heaping insults on Khan. How can they expect Christians to remain silent when a northern state governor publicly stated that they pressured Tinubu to appoint a northern Muslim as vice president because they did not believe he was a good Muslim? Is the vice president going to be the national deputy imam? How can they expect us to remain silent when another northern state governor visits Osun State and urges people to vote for someone simply because he is a Muslim? Was he there for the election or the dawah? What better example of religion in politics can there be than these governors? Clearly, there's a political, religious, and economic agenda to suppress and oppress northern Christians, but we are up to the challenge. We will protect ourselves. The PVC and our prayers will be our weapons of choice, and we will massively deploy them in 2023. However, while we are prepared to fight this politics of exclusion and oppression, we are open to dialogue with anyone who wishes to engage with us in good faith. As I always do, I'd like to conclude with this verse from Romans 8:31. What then shall we say in response to these things? Who can be against us if God is on our side? May God bless and reward all of our collective efforts in Nigeria, our blessed country, to live in peace with one another. Dogara claimed the APC Muslim ticket was leading Nigeria down the path of Nazi Germany. Dogara, who claimed the APC wanted to disintegrate Nigeria like the former USSR and Yugoslavia, added that the party looked like a janjaweed party. He claims the Nigeria of 2022 is not the Nigeria of 1993 and that the presidential candidate Bola Tinubu made a fatal mistake. He also backed other Christian leaders on the Muslim ticket, urging Christians to seek alternative platforms in 2023. Wow. I mean, again, I feel like, it was a really good read, to be honest. But firstly, the thing is, we shouldn't change the essence of why we have to vote and the power of voting. You don't vote because you want to teach someone else a lesson or you want to use your vote to hurt another. It doesn't make sense. And I think the same energy, the same mindset was applied with those that weren't supporting Peter Obi in the first times he was gaining relevance, because firstly, people were like, you know what, we're not going to vote for you, as if you're going to hurt Peter Obi. Again, you're not trying to hurt one party by voting for another. That is very foolish, and you're really wasting your vote. You vote because you want a specific outcome, right? But you don't vote. And I think, yes, be conscious, understand, yes, there are underlying reasons and intentions to the decisions that party makes, and obviously politics is not just what it seems. We also have to be wise and not just fall into the trap of, oh, they did this, so this must mean this. You don't just take their word for it just because, no. But still, because you want to react or do whatever, doesn't mean you take your vote and use it as a weapon to fight. Votes are not weapons because you want to use it to make sure another person doesn't win. You know what I mean? You have to have your intent for your voting, because then we lose the whole essence of voting anyway. Put what you think in the comment section below about what Dogara has said, and do not forget to like and subscribe.